Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Homestead series. We've been changing up a few things here and there since the previous episode. But as you see, the grass is really taken to root and started to grow now that we are able to get this grass to grow. We got to mow it. So we, I believe in episode 6, went and picked up this stuff because we knew we was going to have to get to mowing sometime or later. So here we go. Get the old baby fired up, get her pulled out here, and let's just see how good she'll do. I just need to go in first person here. I'm probably going to set my cruise control just because it's easier to handle that way. We are going 0. There we go. She don't like the hills, I can see. Well, that's okay. This is going to be a long process. Some of this grass is not even mowing. Okay, well, maybe it ain't grown enough to mow yet. Okay. Well, then we're not going to mow then. Let's just not mow today. So much for that. I guess we got to give it a few more days, possibly another week, for it to grow. So next episode we'll be mowing, which is good because I didn't really want to mow today anyway. But what do I want to do? 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 Oh Lord. English is so hard. Take 2. But what I do want to do today is show you guys. Oh Lord. Oh, why is this so difficult? Okay, take 3. So anyway, it's not wanting to mow, but that's okay, because what oh Lord. Take 4. Oh boy. Okay, so it's not going to mow today, which is okay, because what I do want to do today is, well, what do I want to do today? Let's go take a look in the old truck here, and let's just see what we can get into. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. Well, I tell you, actually, you know what I would like to do is I would like to get the skid steer out and get a road cut across here. I need to move this. This is just in the way. And I'd like to cut a road and somehow get it over here to the shop area or to the storage area. So let's work on that. Let's go down here, let's get the skid steer, and let's do that since we can do that today. Because the ground ain't froze, which is good, and we should be okay to do that. I'm just going to park right here. This will be fine. Okay, let's get the door open. Get my keys here. There we go. Come on, door. Let me come in there. All right, let's fire it up. While that's firing up and getting ready, I guess I'm gonna need this bucket right here. I guess is what I'm gonna need today. we don't. That's really all we have. We don't really have anything to clear any trees with other than the chainsaw. Alright, let's pull this over here. Get a beacon on, we can do that. Connect up to her. Alright, so I guess I need to kind of map out, need to map out where I'm going to be going with this road up here. I don't know why my thing likes to do that. I am not doing that, to tell you the truth. But that's okay. Okay, so if I'm in my truck or whatever, and I'm coming out of the shop and I'm like, alright, or no, I'm coming out of the house, excuse me. I'm coming out of the house and my truck's out here, or it's parked over there, or it's down there in the garage, you know. I don't want to go all the way out there and then go around and go up. Well, then I gotta open that gate, close that gate, and what other not that I don't want to do. So really what I'd like to do is just cut a driveway right through here and plop up and boom, right here into the shop yard. But the problem with that is there's not adequate room between this flagpole and this planter box. Now, what I could do is, I can't move this because this is concreted in, but I could move this. Just take the skid steer and just slap it over a little bit. And then I would have to get some dirt from somewhere and build this up. Now that is a perfect path. You can see you got a tree there and a tree there. You got plenty of room to get down there and get over. But again, there's not adequate room. Well, I guess there kinda is. I mean, it's not the greatest. See, somebody went through here with something. I don't know what maybe that was, I don't know what that is. But anyway, whatever, I know what that is. That was the lawnmower we tried to use a while ago. It didn't work. But anyway, what I'd like to do is either cut the road right there or cut the road back here. Now this would probably be a little bit easier, but then again, would I have to build another retaining wall to keep my driveway from washing? I would hope not, because them retaining walls ain't cheap. And I would have to bring that driveway all the way around here and then bring it back down through here and pop up right here and then bring it into the area. It would just be a whole lot easier just to go right up through here, but I don't think we can do that. I think we are going to have to come around the back side right here and just go down through yonder. So, alright, tell you what we'll do. We'll just do this and we'll just roll with it. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to just get this skid steer just somewhere right here, and I just want to go level this, kind of level it off, scoot all the rocks out of the way and just level it off. Well, you can see here, folks, it did a pretty dang on good job. And it didn't take no time to do that, so we was able to round this off just a little bit. Hopefully this is big enough. If it's not, then I'm gonna have to get some dirt and get a retaining wall and backfill it. Actually, to tell you the truth, this probably will wash. So we may just end up daggone putting in a retaining wall anyway. And just make it an extension of this one here, and just juke right up through here, and then juke, turn it around, and then face it off going that way. But now I don't know. We'll have to see what the road takes us to. So for now, it's holding the skid steer pretty dang well, as you can see, until you get right here, and then of course we run out of dirt. So I'm gonna have to get in some dirt, get some dirt hauled out here, and then we're gonna have to go from there. So let me drop down the bucket right here, and we'll just see. I'm gonna go see what a load of dirt is gonna cost. I'm gonna go look at that right quick, and I'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, so we had the dump truck come in here and give us a load of dirt. So now we are just going to continue using the skid steer and pretty much figuring out how we want our driveway to go. I really wouldn't mind going through here and then up, but I don't know. I mean, maybe we just continue with this. We just shoot it straight out through here, come around, and just make it nice and beautiful. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Let's go for it. Probably one load is not going to be enough, but that'll be okay. Just going to have to go and do what we can do. Oh shoot, oh shoot. Ah, dang it. Okay. Alright guys, so unfortunately in Farm Sim you're not able to legitimately use the equipment like you would in real life, so we're going to go into what I should have recorded in episode 6, which was the building of all of this, and I think you got a little taste of it in episode number 8, I think it was. I don't know. I think this is episode 9. So anyway, we're just gonna go and show you basically the idea here. So this is what we do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna level off the dirt to where we're going, and then what I'm gonna do is I don't want it to be this massive, so I'm just gonna give it a good sculpting, which will make it nice and smooth as we come down. And then we're just gonna add on to it till we get to here, and then I'm gonna give it a little boost right in this area and just give it a nice sculpting, as you would normally do with a skid steer or a loader or something, a bulldozer, something that's going to change the terrain, which unfortunately for us, that is not an option in Farm Sim. And then what I want to do is just make this nice and level out to my building. But I don't want to make it too high, because you know you can't be too high. And like I say, you got to come back through and you got to make sure everything is all smoothed out. And then if I have to build a retaining wall somewhere, well, I can do that as well. Now, to get my dirt mound down, there's two options. You can hit level and just level it off, or you can smooth it off, which I didn't plan on smoothing it off anyway. I was just going to level it off and be done with it. So there you have it. That is how you do land terrain changes in farm sim. You can't do it with the power equipment, which I wish you could, like real life. But you can't. So, and then another thing I'd like to do is I'd like to get this square right here, and I can just make this all precision level, because that would be nice for a retaining wall to go down here. Now what we also can do is we can cut it just like that right there, and then you make it go in to here, and that would be perfect for a retaining wall. Now what I'd like to do here is just kind of smooth that off. I don't want to go too smooth because it would mess up my retaining wall, and if I do mess up a little, I can come in here and just hit level off just like that. And I don't want to go too far because then I'll be digging under this building right here, and I definitely don't want to do that. And a lot of times you can get a little carried away with this here, so you may have to come back in and add in some more ground so you don't mess it up. But that is the idea that we are going for. And that we got a little overburned, so let me add a little bit to the ground here, just so we're not going under this wall. And you have to be careful too, because if you hit the brick wall or you hit any kind of object, Farm Sim does not recognize that you're trying to do what you're trying to do. So therefore you're not able to modify the terrain whenever you do an action in something that it's not allowed to be in. Now, this can just be smoothed off. So let me do this. I don't want to go too crazy, but I want it to kind of get a realistic look, because you know you're not going to have something that's just rounded over. I mean, to a sharp point on some ground. You know, it's not going to be wha-bam, you know. It's not going to be a nice precision edge, machine looking edge on it. So there you have it. That is now done. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in a retaining wall down here, and the retaining wall is going to be just real simple. We're just going to paint the edge right here as a rock color, which would be this. And we're just going to paint this all the way out on this massive slope. And then we just kind of got to use our judgment as to where it needs to be ended. But as you can see, that comes out right nice looking. I like that very much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to switch over and I'm going to go to grass. Uh-oh. I went over too far on that, but that's okay. We can fix that. I'm going to go grass here and there and just everywhere that you don't have rock at. Which some of this ground is not real flush and pretty looking, but that's okay because not all ground is perfect. Oh, excuse me. And then all of this we really can just make grass because we're not really worried about that too much. But there is a lot of areas over here that needed to be grass that wasn't grass, but now it will be. Okay, so let's go back to our rock texture And let's paint this back to rock. Just so we don't have to do any mowing on any steep angles right here. Now, what I'm going to do next is put in a block wall, which will be this. Now, this can get real finicky right here. As far as level goes and making it meet up with the ground. You can spend 30 minutes on this, you can spend 5 hours on this. You know, it just depends on how good you want it to look. And for me, this is really not something that's going to be seen very much. So, I mean, I want to do it to the best of my ability, but at the same time, I don't want it to be ugly either. So we're just going to go something like that. I think that'll be okay. And then you want this to intersect with that, but not a whole lot. You know, something like that right there. Now I think that look perfect. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the back side over here. And you know, you can always come in next to your block wall and you can have it level to wherever you want it. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the square and I'm going to go to sculpt, maybe. I'm going to go to sculpt here and I'm just going to level all of this off. I really don't care what it's doing behind the block because, you know, you're not going to see that. The main thing you're going to see is to the front of it, especially when I come down here to mow in a little while. You're going to see all of this. So you just want to make it look presentable. You don't have to be perfect, but you know, something like that right there, and that's perfect. I ain't going anywhere. In real life, that would work out just perfect. Even though it don't look like it'd be perfect, it will be. I promise you. All right, so now you can continue the concrete out. This is kind of a lesson, I guess you could say. It's not really a video at this point. This is more of a lesson, but just showing you why we can't just do what we normally would do with power equipment and stuff. But anyway, I try to be as legit as possible, but sometimes, you know, you just can't. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a concrete driveway here. And we're just going to come out and just go down here. And the reason I'm using the half circle or the sphere is because that allows me to do my radiuses and my turns. And then I'm just going to go right there. And of course it's probably got a little screwed up, so we'll just go back through here and make it look presentable and make it look good and, you know, do all the finishing touches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change over to grass. And I'm just going to finish out the grass down through here. Because, you know, we gotta have grass so we can mow this thing. So there we have it. Let me zoom in here and make sure we're getting all the grass textures where we need them and where we don't need them. We don't have them. And that should be fine there. Now what I'm going to do is see how the grass kind of grows onto the concrete right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into sculpting and I'm just going to give it a light smoothing. Just to get rid of that grass that's hanging over. Or just growing into the concrete. I don't want to clear off a lot of it, but I want enough that it's just away from the concrete because that's not legit. You know, in real life you don't have grass. Well, some areas you would. You'd have grass growing through your concrete, but only if it was a crack or something and allow it to. And there we go. Now what I'm going to do is get in the skid steer right here, and we are just going to test the road and see how it does. See how it does as far as, you know, drivability, and then all of that fun stuff. Now basically, I'm not going to be using this as like highway. It's just going to be when I wake up in the morning and I come out of my house and I want to just ride over to the storage area, or I got to go to the shop or whatever. I'm going to hop on this road and I'm just going to drive over here. That's what this is all about right here. So as you can see, it drives really good, and we're going to call that good as far as the road is concerned. So there we go. Alright, so the old skid steer did good for us. Now, maybe one day at Farm Sim, it'll allow me to engage with the ground with something like this, which would be awesome. I don't know how they would be able to do that though. If I could figure it out, I probably would do it myself. But I don't know how to do. I don't know how to edit a game like that to do all of that. So anyway, we got a nice driveway now. It's able to go up to the house, and we are able to just go back and forth without having to go down and around down yonder and scoot around that way. So that is very, very good. And I left my door wide open. Wonderful. So anyway, guys, that is how we do the ground modification. If that is something you enjoy seeing, please leave it down in the comments below and just tell me that you love watching me work the ground and do these tutorials, I guess you could call it, instead of a video. You can see how that just kind of comes and mates up with the wall here as you can do it. I mean, it's not the greatest solution, but it works for now. So there you have it, folks. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. I do appreciate you watching. If you do like this kind of content, be sure to hit the like button. And if you really enjoy this series, be sure to hit the subscribe button, so that way you won't miss out on any new uploads. And in order to make sure that you really don't miss out on anything, just hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button. When you do hit subscribe, make sure to select all on the notifications, and you will be notified every time I upload a new video, whether it be in this series or just anything to my channel. Okay, doke. Well, that is going to wrap it up here, guys. I do appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next episode.